Hi, how are you? It's Teknikolour. I'm back with another speed build, and this time I made a Craftsman in Sequoia. Let's check it out. Okay, so I have a confession to make. I have kind of been in a little bit of a building block. So I don't know. I feel like since I finished the Builder games, I had done a couple of builds that I really loved. I had finished creating the Generation 5 house for my Legacy Challenge, and after I had done that, I started to feel like I was getting a building block, and I wasn't really sure what I was doing or what I should work on, and I thought I broke it when I had then made another house for my Generation Heir, his twin sister. So I had made a residential rental for Morgana Wyndham and the rest of the sim selves from people who have contributed to my birthday donathon. So those are members of my community who are now like their sim selves are in my legacy save. However, after that, I was like full unblocked. I was like, I didn't really know what to build. Anything that I built, I got really frustrated with and I would just scrap. Like I had worked on a restaurant and I didn't love it. So I scrapped that. And then I ended up going back to a restaurant, which was one of the videos that I had recently posted. And I was happy with it, but I feel like it's still missing something. Like there's nothing wrong with it, but for me, it didn't feel at the same level as the rest of my builds. So I was kind of frustrated. And I wasn't really sure what to do, and I was getting a little scared that I didn't really have anything to build or to post, and I was just getting really frustrated. And then I had done the cottage build with my mom, Allie Bear, which I just posted last week if you didn't see it. I built my mom's dream cottage with my mom on stream. I realized after that I probably should have spliced in some of the footage from that stream of my mom and I, but instead it was just my mom and I on the thumbnail, and then the rest of it was just me. And I just took the recorded footage from when we built her dream cottage and just made a speed build video. Building with my mom completely inspired me to start building again. And I don't know, I wasn't sure what I wanted to build, but I knew that I was inspired to build, and I realized I hadn't built in Sequoia in a really long time, and I really liked Sequoia. When Growing Together had released, I was very excited because it was kind of like my first expansion pack after joining The Sims, and I really loved Sequoia. I think now I'm less impressed by Sequoia, and I think a lot of other simmers have said how there's a lot of space issue with Sequoia and some of the other worlds as well. So in Sequoia, it's supposed to feel like kind of community based, but all of the lots are really far from each other. So even though you're surrounded by a bunch of other craftsmen and everything, there's less Sims around. So I just feel like it's not as, I don't know, it's not as great of a world as I originally thought. I do still really love it. It's just probably not one of my favorite worlds anymore. But I decided that I wanted to build on this lot here, Parkside Place. And I knew that I wanted to build a Craftsman because I realized I hadn't built in Sequoia in a really long time and I wanted to do it again. I am so pleased with the way that this build came out. This, I think, might be one of my favorite builds that I've ever done. And I think there's really only like maybe one or two other builds that kind of like are in that like vein where it's something that I'm just like really proud of and I think I did a really good job on. You be the judge. Let me know down in the comments. Do you love it? Do you hate it? But I think what's very interesting is I had actually started working off of a floor plan that I had found online, and obviously it has since changed, but most of it, specifically like the center and left-hand side of this build, is how it was in the floor plan. But I had to change a lot of other stuff, including the second floor. But the the entryway, I'm gonna be honest, the entryway is where I think this build shines. I think it is the perfect kind of mudroom, little foyer area, and it just feels like somewhere that I would want to live. It just feels like if I were looking for a house, this would be it for me. I also love that I put the bar like right at where the staircase is, and then the living room is right there in the front, and then there's the aquarium, and then there's the dining room. I used the candles on like that wooden thing from Spa Day because when I was competing in the builder games, somebody had used that in their build, and I was like, oh my god, where is this from? Because we weren't allowed to use custom content, and I was like, where is this from? I need that pack immediately. And they were like, Spa Day. You would never have realized. And I was like, oh god, now I need Spa Day. And I did end up getting eventually Spa Day. And I'm actually kind of impressed with a lot of the stuff from Spa Day because it was not a pack that I ever expected I would like. I knew that I liked the aquarium, but there really wasn't much else that really appealed to me. And I think it's because of the thumbnails that they use when showcasing all of the CAS and all of the build items, more specifically the build items. I just felt like everything was in white. And I feel like that doesn't show you much. Like, it's not really showcasing the best aspects of those build items. So seeing it in all these other colors, especially like the darker wood tones, I think is where I excelled in this build. I also have to say, I definitely ripped off an idea from when I had done a build in the builder games where I had used like a peek through wall using those windows from For Rent. And I did that here in the kitchen, and you wouldn't realize, but that like peek through wall, that peeks into the laundry area. And it's not really a laundry room, it's just a laundry area. And it's kind of like maximizing the space there. I was really proud of how I did that. I also really love the dark tones against all of the lighter walls in this house. Specifically in the kitchen, I had decided that I wanted to use that tile from Home Chef Hustle and the cabinets as well. And then once I had decided on the lighter green color for the walls, I knew that we were set because it basically matches perfectly. I was just so blown away by how nicely everything was coming together in this build, but I'm gonna be honest, I had to cut out a lot. This speed build was originally much longer, and I was getting stressed out because I had to just keep hacking away at it. I had actually done a rough cut of it, and I was like, I'm gonna have to post this as is, and I was really disappointed. And I was talking about it on stream, and a bunch of my community members in my chat had given me some suggestions for things that I could change or make it less of an issue because I had to speed everything up so quickly. Like right now, this speed build is probably at like 1,150% speed, and I think it actually looks okay. I don't think it's too fast. Sometimes I've done that and it's really fast, but you'll notice that we took away all of the roofing. Like you don't see any roofing in here. And that's because the roofing took me a really long time. The roofing took me a couple of hours, maybe 2 hours, maybe an hour and a half. Like we're not talking about like 8-hour build or just the roofing. It took me an exceptional amount of time. Also because I had to keep adjusting things. So I had like an overall idea for what I wanted the second floor to look like. But then when I roofed it, it looked awful. And then I had to adjust the roofing and then the actual walls, which I'm so glad that I didn't even start working on the second floor yet. It was just like walls. So once I had then decided, okay, I have to adjust this. Basically what I did was I just kept making everything smaller. And then sometimes it was like too small. So then I would have to make it a little bit bigger until it just looked like something that looked kind of realistic. And it looks a little uneven, like a little lopsided almost, but I think that that works for this type of build. And I think it works for this specific house because it also then leaves a little bit of airiness over into like the backyard where the pool is. And otherwise this would be like such a massive house if I had kept it as large as it was originally going to be. Because right now there is the primary bedroom, which has an ensuite. There is like a baby's room, like a nursery. There's another bathroom, which is like the main bathroom on the main floor. But then upstairs, there's kind of like an office space that's like also part of like the landing of the stairs. And then there's 2 bedrooms. One is for kind of like a grandparent, and then like a little bit of an older sim. And then there's like the whole playroom, which could really turn into anything. So if you end up playing in this build, I would be honored, but also please show me what you've come up with. I want to know like how it's working for you and if you really enjoy it. Like if you're going to put this in your save and you're going to play in this, please let me know, because, or any of my builds, because that's always so exciting for me, because I want to play in this build. Like I was building it and I was decorating it, and all I could just think about was, in my legacy challenge right now, we're not going back to San Sequoia. San Sequoia was like the start of it. And this build is so much better than the one that I had made for the founder of my legacy. And I'm so disappointed that I didn't have this level of building back then, because I'm so in love with this build. So I don't know, maybe I'll play with it off stream and I don't know, do something, but I don't know. I'm just blown away by this one. I think all of the color schemes work together. I feel like I did a really good job with the wood tones and with the plants, the decor. I feel like it just excels here. And I don't know, I'm really proud of this one. Have you ever felt like that with a build, where you built something that you were so happy with, but you're not sure when you're going to play with it? I know also like some people don't play for function, like that's not an aspect that they're ever really thinking about when they're building. I try to, because I feel like I want something where I would be able to play in it if I ever wanted to, but also I want something that other people could also play in. So I don't know, because also I feel like you could spend so much time on a build, and then are other people going to look at it and spend anywhere near as much time as you would really want them to, especially if they don't have the same packs as you? I don't know, that would make me like so sad to like do a build and maybe it's just like this speed build and then that's it and nobody ever sees it again. And I don't know, that just makes me sad. Like I'm sure other people will click on that video at some point, or they'll click on that build on the gallery, but I don't know. I feel like I tried to build more for function, so like a functional build that you can play in. And I'm gonna have to play in this build. I don't know when. I don't know when or how we would do it, but we're going to have to do it. I also left, I don't know, there were just like so many parts where I was just so inspired by growing together. And I think it's possibly because that build that I had done with my mom, we didn't really have anywhere near enough time. We basically spent 3 hours on it. And I also didn't want my mom to be like too overwhelmed, because there's so many packs that I have now. So my mom, it was a lot. So my mom would be like, that's good. We don't have to keep looking for another table. Whereas me, I'll spend forever. Like I spent over 10 hours on this build, which is actually kind of short for me. But I was so inspired by working with my mom, because my mom and she kind of inspired all of that in me. Like my love of interior design and my love of like art and creativity comes from my mom. My mom has always been super creative, and I don't know, like she used to paint backdrops for school plays for us. Like she used to do her own art. She used to do like fabric painting and stuff like that. My mom has been like so talented throughout her entire life, and especially like having kids and having to deal with kids, she also found the time for that, and then to also inspire us with it. I don't know, I just got so inspired by working with my mom, because it was also kind of interesting, because my mom would like or dislike certain items that I was like, months beforehand, like a year beforehand, I would be like, oh my god, my mom would love this item, or this item reminds me of my mom. And my mom was like, oh, I don't like that. It was just like very shocking to me. And I don't know, it was just really nice to sit here with my mom and design something together. And I don't know, and then it just made me want to build more. Like I finished this, now I want to build again. So who knows what I'm gonna do for next week. But I was just so enthralled by everything, all the choices that I was making here. Also, a lot of it might have also been the fact that I was listening to music that my mom would listen to when I was growing up. So, for instance, I feel like I have a lot of memories of being in our basement, and whether I would be playing video games, or I'd be doing homework, or whatever I would be doing. My mom would be doing stuff around the house, or she would be working on like some sort of art or something. My mom also used to do like wood burning, and we always listened to a lot of music growing up. And it's so interesting to me that not everyone is like that. Like, for instance, my boyfriend, I feel like his family didn't really listen to music that much, or they did, but like not in the same ways. So my parents introduced me to tons of music and so many different artists and so many different genres, and would also kind of like quiz us, if that makes sense. So say like we would be going to pick my brother up from school. My mom would like kind of quiz me on like Motown or something. And then I would like be learning the different artists, or like, what genre is this? And it was just, I don't know, like, that's the type of parenting that I love, because it's like inspiring culture and creativity in your kids. And I just loved that. But my mom was also a big fan of Melissa Etheridge growing up, and it was so funny to me, or funny to all of us, because my mom didn't know that she was a lesbian. That might be obvious if you listen to Melissa's music, but my mom did not know. And we went to a concert, and then my mom had gone to the bathroom, and she came back and she was like, oh, everyone is so friendly here. We're like, Mom, they were hitting on you. She had no idea. But I don't know. I just loved Melissa Etheridge's albums, specifically like Lucky Skin. Those were two albums that I felt like I really, really enjoyed listening to when I was younger. I remember being really young and listening to Melissa Etheridge, and I would be like literally like under the kitchen table, sucking my thumb, holding onto my blanket, like that young. And my mom would be in the kitchen or something, and she'd be listening to the music. And I don't know, it's just like really happy memories. And I also remember listening to Melissa's music and sort of having an idea that like, it's not a heterosexual relationship. Maybe I didn't know that exactly, but I felt like there was that acceptance there from my parents. So it was, even though my mom apparently had no idea, but I don't know. I just felt like it was fostering that in me, that it was okay to be gay. Surprise if you didn't know I'm gay. But I was just, I don't know. It was just really nice. And I listened to a lot of Melissa Etheridge's albums, specifically the ones that I'm like more familiar with, especially Skin and Lucky. Those two I had listened to a lot while I was building this. So this build, I guess, is also kind of inspired by Melissa and my mom. And I don't know. I feel like I had also worked on the kids' room, and I had worked on like the grandparents' room, and I felt like I could envision people or Sims living here. And I don't know. I'm just so, I don't know. Have you ever been so happy with a build that you're like, I need to play in here? So who knows, again, when I'll be able to do that. But I don't know. If you end up playing in this build, please let me know. If you ever play in any of my builds, always let me know, because I want to know. Like, if you love it that much to put it into one of your save files, oh, it's such a compliment, because I am just so impressed. I mean, there's people who will tell me that like they like my builds, or they think I'm a good builder, and I don't know. I don't always believe them. I mean, I know I did go really far in the builder games. I feel like everyone has a lot to learn, and I feel like I've learned so much in the short amount of time that I have been a simmer. And that's honestly due, in fact, to so many simmers just being so nice. Like, there's no such thing as trade secrets when it comes to like builders in The Sims, because I feel like everyone is just so friendly, and everyone is just so willing to let other people learn and to grow. So if there's something that you like in one of my builds and you're like, how did you do that? Or maybe you didn't see it in the speed build, or you want to know more, let me know, because I'll tell you. because there's been so many people who have told me, like, you'll even see when I start to landscaping, my friend Nick Simulations, I had learned this actually during the Builder games. Specifically, I remember Bezo Plays, who is also on Twitch, and The Awful Gamer, who is also on Twitch. They had told me that in the tool mod, you can move an item like very incrementally. And every single time I had tried that, it would just like not work. And I was like, I don't know what I'm doing wrong. And they had told me, and even still, I couldn't figure out what I was doing wrong. And then I found out because I have a Mac PC hybrid keyboard. I was hitting the Option key instead of the Alt key. So if you didn't know, if you want to move an item incrementally in Tool, if you hold down the Alt key, not the Option key, unless maybe you're on Mac, maybe it works that way, and then you are clicking your mouse, it will move those items incrementally. And that's basically what I did for a lot of the landscaping to get things into the right position. And that used to take me forever. Also to try to figure out like the math, which I'm not good at math. We actually have a command. We have a command on my Twitch stream. Sorry if I'm like plugging my Twitch too much or if I'm plugging other people's Twitches. But Twitch is kind of where I made my start on content creation. And I love it. And also, if you are interested in following me on Twitch, I know that we're going to be getting some new stuff in The Sims. And I don't know if you saw that we have that like Season of Love roadmap that they just released. But I am in the EA Creator Network, and sometimes we have giveaways and stuff like that. So you never know. You never know. Honestly, like the fact that I'm even in the EA Creator Network now, it's just mind-blowing to me that I have grown so much in the Sims community, and that I even have like a space in the Sims community now is just like so exciting to me. I don't know, but I've learned so much from all these other people, and I don't know, it's just Sims is like my happy game. I love playing The Sims. I love like the gameplay, but the building is where I feel like I just get to zone out and I get to be myself and I get to just have fun and just build something that I love. And if that's like you, do something with your building. Like, don't just hide it. Like, I know that there's so many people who are like, I don't know, I'm not a great builder, but I love to build in The Sims. They don't even post on the gallery. Post on the gallery. People will find your stuff and they will be so impressed. I promise you. And if they're not, who cares? Like, if you love it, that's all that matters. But I don't know. I just feel like I did such a good job with this build that I have to play in it. I don't know when we'll be able to. Like in my legacy challenge, we're not going to be going back to San Sequoia. And I don't want to put like other Sims in this house. I probably will put this in my save, but I can't even use it as like a rental, because even if I use it as a rental and we just go there like occasionally, it doesn't look like it's fit for a rental. I don't know. I don't know. I just I built this house that I want to play in. I'm gonna have to do something. I don't know. Maybe after I finish my Around the World's Legacy Challenge, maybe then I'll do it. If you didn't know, right now I'm playing every Tuesday and Thursday morning on my Twitch, at least on the Eastern time zone. I start at 10 a.m. We're playing with my Around the World's Legacy Challenge, which I wrote with my boyfriend. And right now we're going to be starting Generation 6. Actually, that sim is a teenager as of today. So if you're interested, we're going to be starting living in city living soon. So we're going to be going to San Myshuno. Gemma, our Generation 6 sim, she's going to be taking the helm from her father, who was our Realm of Magic and Paranormal Stuff sim. But yeah, we have a bunch of other packs planned, focusing on those worlds and the gameplay from that pack. And we still have to add more because I have since gotten all of the expansion packs. I don't have everything in the game, but eventually I would like to just continue adding to it. So we'll see. But I am just so impressed with this build. I feel like I keep repeating myself, and that probably sounds bad. Like, oh my God, my build is so amazing, but it's honestly not like that. I'm just like so blown away that I don't know. I was on this building block. I felt like I couldn't design anything. I felt like I was so ashamed of everything that I had done. Like, this is not good. Like, I just felt like I had no confidence in my building. And then thank you so much to my mom, Allie Bear, because she inspired it all back in me. So who knows? I feel like my builds are going to be really, really good. Also, I don't know if you know, I was in the builder games. I've mentioned this before, but they're dropping a new season soon, it looks like. So if you're a builder and you think that you would like to compete in the builder games, go and look into it. I'll drop a link down below. So if that's something that you're into, definitely go check it out. But we are nearing the end of the build right now. So why don't we pop into the game and I can show you around a little bit. So here we are in San Sequoia on the Parkside Place lot. And this is the build. I love the way that this turned out. I love the brick on the front. I love that it's in white, which I know that my boyfriend was not a fan of when I showed it to him, but hopefully y'all like it. And here is the whole build. I'll show you the outside very quickly. We've got this little outdoor area, and then there's dining space, but there's also a little like picnic bench out here, and the pool and the little water area. On the inside, you come in the front door, and here is the little mudroom entryway. Then you come in here and there's the living room and the dining room, the kitchen, which honestly, I am so happy with the way that the kitchen turned out. And then the bar over here with the stairs to go upstairs. In this hallway, there is that laundry room that I was telling you about with that peek through window. Here is the family bathroom. And then we also have the little nursery over here. Here's the ensuite bathroom and the primary bedroom, which this is a bedroom that I would want to have. But then you go up the stairs and here's that little like office landing area. And then here is the kind of like family playroom. And then over here is kind of like the grandparents' room. And then in here is like the kids' room. But thank you so much for watching this speed build. I really loved this one. And if you did too, be sure to like and subscribe. Also hit that notification bell so you don't miss any future videos. But thank you so much for watching. I really do appreciate it. If you want to see more content like this, but live, you can also kind of help me build or see my Around the World's Legacy Challenge. I play that every Tuesday and Thursday over on my Twitch channel. The name is just the same over there, just Teknikolour. But I'm also playing some other games. So if you're interested in Paper Mario Thousand Year Door, we are starting that soon because it's releasing on Thursday. And we're also playing some other games occasionally. Like we'll do Palia, we'll do Dead by Daylight, Disney Speedstorm. There's a whole bunch happening over there. But thank you so much. I will catch you in the next video. Bye-bye.